Welcome to STEM Pros.
Powered by edheads.org.
Where you get an inside look at careers in science, tech, engineering, and math. Today's guest is rocket scientist Caitlin Robinson.
My name is Caitlin Robinson. I'm a rocket scientist at United Launch Alliance. So what United Launch Alliance does, they're a launch service provider. So basically we build rockets and launch payloads, both commercial and government, up to a multitude of different orbits. Essentially, we help all of our customers explore the universe. We also help in regards to military defense. And so, in a way, we're helping protect globally, as well as protecting the nation from outsider threats. So it's kind of cool because really we get to see a little bit of everything. My specific job as a rocket scientist, I work in GSE, which stands for Ground Support Engineering. So we basically work on all of the transportation and the facilities that get the rocket ready to launch. That's kind of where all of the magic happens, right up to the launch. So it's pretty cool to kind of be able to work on all of those systems that control, specs like the temperature and the pressure of the rocket right up to when it lifts off. So that's kind of the gist of what I work on. So what's it like to have a job that people really only see in movies? It is a little bit weird, but it's really exciting because I think people have a stigma on what rocket scientists are. And so being able to kind of educate them on, exactly what we do and the nitty-gritty of everything, it really helps educate them. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is how people deal with the anomalies that occur leading up to or during the launch. So essentially, if something goes wrong right before or during the launch, it's not a mad scramble. People aren't panicking, and really I think a lot of times they portray it as maybe one or two people that are in charge of the whole thing that can see the one issue. What it actually is, though, is it's a team effort. The coolest thing about my job is just being able to work on something that impacts the nation and the world. I think a lot of times people think about rockets and space and it seems really flashy, and it is a great job. It's super interesting to be able to say that you've worked on a rocket and that you're contributing to a liftoff of a rocket. But I think the bigger picture really is the impacts that I get to contribute to the nation and the safety of the nation. And I think really the bottom line is the space industry is growing rapidly, and so I think it's really cool to kind of be able to be a part of it. I think I definitely faced a multitude of obstacles when I kind of pursued this career and pursued engineering in general. I guess the first one really is my immediate family, they don't have any engineers or any STEM backgrounds. That was the first obstacle to have to tackle, was to kind of step out of what my family had done and pursue that interest in STEM and kind of go out of my comfort zone a little bit. I feel like sometimes it's hard in engineering because you do have the significant majority of the workforce is men. And so I think some of the challenges associated with that is sometimes as a woman, you feel like maybe your voice is heard a little bit less, or you can be less valued. But, I think a lot of that really is misconception. And I think, I think genuinely in an engineering field, the name of the game is diversity, right? Something I do want to mention about United Launch Alliance is they have a multitude of employee resource groups. And so essentially what those are small extracurricular groups that anyone is welcome to join any of them. A few of them are cultural, a few of them have to deal with gender identity. So we have an Out in Space group, which is LGBTQ+. And we also have an Asian Pacific American Islander group as well. And that's just naming a couple of them. So really, United Launch Alliance does do a really, really good job of promoting diversity. If I could tell my younger self something, it would just be to be confident and to not let, outside doubts kind of lead themselves in. And I think really it's important to, at the end of the day, to just be confident in your own capabilities. So a young person in, their early to late years of high school, being able to kind of pursue space industry or STEM in general, I think the biggest thing is to find clubs and take courses that pertain to it. I think, in my personal experience, sometimes it was difficult to find that, but I've also found that there are a lot of extracurricular clubs in high school that allow you to kind of pursue that interest and meet people that have the same interest. So that kind of already kickstarts your network building. Communities that have limited access to extracurriculars and clubs that might allow you to kind of get a jump start into the STEM field. There are a multitude of opportunities online. And so even just it's as simple as YouTubing rocket launches or how rockets are made or, the inners of those. I think I've been able to see plenty of videos on that are extremely educational and helpful. And they really dive deep into the details. So it allows people that might be interested to really figure out if that is something that they would want to pursue a little bit further.